Good Hope District Council Chairman Daniel Nkwani calls for review and amendment of farm workers' law.
The annual Makadi Marathon says despite facing sponsorship challenges, they are on course.
Tato Khosimore in Sport and Sign Languages, Patricia Chovanyane, good evening. The President, Advocate Duma Boko, will undertake a working visit to Lesotho from Tuesday the 15th to Thursday the 17th of July. During the visit, President Boko will meet His Majesty King Letsie III to discuss bilateral and regional issues of mutual interest, as well as explore ways to further strengthen bilateral cooperation between Botswana and the Kingdom of Lesotho. President Boko will also meet with Prime Minister Samuel Matekane and undertake site visits to key locations such as the Tsinyane, which is the proposed dam site for the Lesotho-Botswana water transfer project. Furthermore, the President will attend the 62nd birthday celebration of His Majesty King Letsie III on Thursday, the 17th of July.
Go tla nna le tumalano e tla beiwa monwana ya go tlhatlosa botsalano jwa mahatshe o mabedi go tsena mo tse ka meraro ya tsa mahatshe a se le ba di bitsang ba re ke ba National Commission ba ne ba ntse ba dirisanya gongwe ka thulaganyo ya JPCC e simolotseng ka ngwaga wa 2003 mme gongwe go tlhatlosiwa jalo ga botsalano jwa mahatshe o mabedi go nna ba National Commission go ra jalo gore bo gorogile ko mankalankaleng ha re bua jalo ka puo ya tsa meraro ya tsa mahatshe a sele go tlotloa jalo kana go a tlotlomadwa se mo se sa botsalano ka gore go ha ba eteledipele ba mahatshe o mabedi sebaka sa gore enne bone ba tsamaisang diphuthegotse mme ka jalo tsotlhe tse di akantsweng di dirwa ka bohehu e seng gongwe tse di nnang motsopodi ya jaaka ha go dirwa ka tsamaiso ya JPCC gongwe ntlhengwe e ke batlang go isupa ke reng e tswa kgakala e le tirisano kana dipuisano tse di tsweletseng gareng ga lehatshe la Botswana le la Lesotho ke kgang ya gone go gogwa ga metsi go tswa mo lehatsheng la Lesotho go a go lehatsheng la Botswana ka pipeline ya about 700 kilometers. Tumalano ya go dira tiro e tswa ko ngwageng wa 2017 mme le mo nakong ya gompieno go ntse go tsweletse go dirwa dikarolo tse di harologaneng tsa yone re kgosolegela jalo gore Tautona Boko ka la boraro a go lebelela jalo le helo le tsota ga go ntse go dira dipatlisiso le supileng ha tla nna lone boremelelo jwa netamo e tla kgobokanya metsi a tlabong a iswa jalo ko lehatsheng la Botswana heta jalo ko lehatsheng la Afrika Borwa. Tautona Boko tla nna le sebaka sa go le kodisiwa gore thulaganyo eo e ma hakae mme gongwe ha re ntse re bala re le moga jalo gore yone e tsweletse sentle ka gore ke tiro e bokete moraro ya no o motsopodia mme gompieno go letile jalo hela gore gongwe le tamo ka le bono go bo go ka bonwa madi a go tsweledisa yone thulaganyo eo.
President Advocate Duma Boko has emphasized the urgent need to tackle poverty and unemployment, describing them as pressing challenges facing the nation. The President made the remarks this morning when the new United Nations Resident Coordinator, Ms. Wayan Yang, presented her letter of credence. Gigantse Khumalo has more.
Botswana continues to face significant development challenges such as poverty and high unemployment despite its upper middle income status. However, President Duma Boko expressed confidence that Botswana's long-standing collaboration with the United Nations will strengthen efforts in these areas. He informed the United Resident Coordinator that these challenges stem from the non-diversification of the economy.
We've taken the firm position that poverty and exclusion are human rights violations. This we did in order to impose a firm obligation on ourselves, a sense of urgency about dealing with the challenges of poverty and unemployment that affect us, arising from an undiversified economy. So we are dealing with these challenges, and we trust that the long-standing collaboration that we've had with the United Nations will now augment and deepen our efforts in relation to these pressing and urgent challenges that we face. And so we welcome you. We welcome the contribution we look forward to you making, and certainly to entrench the role of the United Nations here.
The incoming UN resident coordinator is eager to build on the strong foundation laid by her predecessor, working closely with Botswana to support the country's national development goals.
Building on the great partnership that my predecessor had established with the government of Botswana to make further progress and to strengthen our collaboration, to support the government in pursuit of national development priorities. And it's truly an honor to be here. Mr. President, it's very so kind of you to recognize that I'm new to the role in Botswana. I have some experience in development, so I do look forward to utilize my experience to do a good job.
The United Nations has been a long-standing partner in Botswana's development, supporting initiatives in health, education, climate resilience, and economic empowerment. Both parties express optimism that this partnership will deepen even further. Kikanse Kumalo, BTV News, Gaborone.
Meanwhile, Professor Dapo Akande, the United Kingdom candidate for the International Court of Justice (ICJ) for the term 2027 to 2036, is in Botswana to solicit support for his election as one of the 15 judges. The British High Commission paid a courtesy call on President Boko to present Professor Akande this morning in Gaborone. Botswana, as a good standing member of the ICJ, has the right to participate in the election process of members of the ICJ. Sharing his desire to contribute to the International Court of Justice, Professor Akande, who is a renowned legal scholar and practitioner of international law, assured the government of his commitment to uphold the rule of law and contribute to peaceful settlement of disputes by member states. Earlier on, Professor Akande met with the Minister of Justice and Correctional Services, Mr. Nelson Maotwana, wherein the minister informed him that the government is still deliberating on whom to support for the ICJ election. The International Court of Justice, known as the principal judicial organ of the United Nations, holds a pivotal role in international law and diplomacy, and its elections are held every 3 years to fill 1/3 of the seats, with the possibility of re-election for retiring judges who are elected to 9-year terms of office by the United Nations General Assembly and the Security Council.
Affairs Ministry, but I think after discussion we'll be able to communicate appropriately our position. But for now I can say thank you very much for having shown interest in meeting us and for having come to Botswana, and good luck in your endeavor.
We believe Professor Akande's experience across legal traditions, a range of legal traditions, is really invaluable and makes him a unique candidate. And he is an individual who, throughout his extremely long and distinguished career, has shown that he is committed to upholding independence and impartiality of the court, having acted both for and against states in international proceedings, indeed both for and against the UK in international proceedings.
My own sort of motivation for wanting to be a candidate and wanting to be a judge at the International Court of Justice, it's basically to try and help do my bit in maintaining and sustaining the rule of law in international affairs. Really important that states, in my view, obviously states pursue their interests as they see fit, which is totally fine, but important that that be done within a system, a framework of international law, a system that provides for predictability, for stability, and which promotes justice. And my hope is to be able to contribute to that through the ICJ. The ICJ today actually is central to the international legal system.
Good Hope District Council Chairman Daniel Nkwane has called for review and amendment of farm workers' law to address issues of exploitation and ensure fair treatment. The council chairman expressed this in an interview following their visit to Banyana Farms in Morolong in conjunction with the Department of Labor. Gilbert Mokorosi with the details.
The Good Hope District Council, in collaboration with the Department of Labor, conducted the visit to assess working conditions and gather first-hand information on allegations raised at a recent Kota meeting. Residents had complained limited access to health services. There is urgent need to review and amend our current labor laws, especially laws on guiding farm workers. For instance, the current farm workers law does not state number of hours to be worked as a farm worker, rather it's open. Really, our farm workers laws must be reviewed because the current status does not protect farm workers. Some farmers express that they are subjected to long working hours, inadequate pay, and unsafe working conditions. I'm working as a horse caretaker in the farm, earning 1,500 pula, and from that amount, I have received half-pay salary. Still on to that, we don't understand how many working hours are we legally allowed to work, since here we are subjected to long working hours leading into the middle of the night. I own a horse in the farm. However, we are not allowed or made to pay so as to have them here. And this is the mode of transport to me to go to the nearest health facility whenever I attend my checkups. However, one of the farm managers expressed that some workers continue to display insubordination and fail to adhere to established farm rules. Movement control in the farm is haphazard to a point that everyone gets in here, which is against the rules of the farm. And we have registered several cases of stock theft in here due to these. And some of employees damage farm perimeter fences, which exposes security in the farm. The call for legal review underscores a growing recognition of the need to protect vulnerable workers and promote sustainable agricultural practices that uphold human rights. Gilbert Morosi, BTV News, Banyana Farms.
A youthful small stock breeder from Springbok Farm in New Kanagas, Jafta Kuhanga, says agricultural shows such as the one that was held in Charles Hill last week challenge them as the youth to showcase better breeds. Kuhanga, whose farm is about an hour's drive from Charles Hill, says his sheep breeds that include Doper sheep and Meatmaster sheep can be bought at the right prices and catch the eye of the crowds who throng the event annually to savor the exhibits of farmers. Angela Enosa with more.
This year's inception of the Charles Hill Show saw farmers from near and farm displaying the best our crops have to offer. Mr. Jafta Kuhanga from New Kanagas showcasing his goats and sheep, which he says fetched him top prizes, evidence that indicates his effort in selective breeding have been fruitful, resulting in animals of superior quality.
They correct mistakes from our heads or what we breed. So we learn a lot from different farmers. I will also like to urge banana ya temotuo re tshwantse go lebella gore mme le ruo le re adapta mo go lene ke le feng re lebile vegetation re le mo go yone se ke se buang se ka ke bua ka gore like nna ke le dopa farmer ke na le bothata jo ha re tla for grazing, so I just put or took the effort of myself gore ke itirele kampanyana ko farm ko marakeng just go dira bojang gore in dry season di khone go graze gautshwanyana.
Small stock these days have proven to be a gem that gives you money quickly, so you cannot therefore ignore that. So we could also attribute that to the fact that the pudi and the nku and the kuku these days are commanding the market. They need to be prepared to work very hard and be focused and know that farming is no longer a hobby. You need to commercialize your farming so that it becomes your livelihood.
Meanwhile, this year's show exceeded expectations.
More interest from Batwa, which is very unusual. There's more competitors and a lot of interest from the local young farmers. Not the show itself is growing, but it shows that the farmers are taking farming more seriously, and that not just farming in numbers, but with quality animals.
The show is growing. The farmers are also growing. They are growing because you see they are buying animals to go and develop their crops so that they can bring a crop that is better off. Yeah, that growth is there. Animals for the auctions. Animals for the auctions would not necessarily be prepared. But for the shows, we need animals that are ready for the show in terms of quality as well as preparedness, that are not wild, that have been taken care of, and that should be able to attract the eye of whoever comes to the show.
The show committee has called for the 11 stakeholders to expedite allocating accommodation facilities around Charles Hill by awarding temporary permits where on time, as there is a challenge to accommodate the throngs that invade the village during the show, as currently there are few lodging facilities. Angela Nusa, BTV News, Charles Hill.
You're still with BTV News at 6. The Bubira district continues to experience a troubling decline in agricultural production, raising concerns among farmers and stakeholders. Statistics from previous plowing seasons reveal a sharp drop in both harvest volumes and land utilization. The Crop Production Department in Bubonong recently conducted a mechanization workshop in Sehupe as part of their efforts to prepare for the upcoming plowing season and improve harvest yields. Mamusi Siska with more.
Bubira district, one of the Botswana's key agricultural zones, has shown signs of distress such as clear empty fields, dry lands and a growing sense of worry among farmers. According to the Ministry of Lands and Agriculture, crop yield in Bubira has dropped by over 45% compared to last year. In the 2022-2023 season, an estimated 8,000 tons of mixed crops were harvested, while the 2023-2024 season recorded just 4,400 tons. Furthermore, plowed land has reduced from 10,559 hectares in 2022-2023 to 3,929 hectares this season, a concerning decline of over 37%.
Farming community has aged. Go setse bana mo masimo kana ba hukuditse ditema tse ba di lemang ka gore ke bagodi. Mme gape re itemogela jalo gone gore le bone bonana bo busetseng ka lehatshe ga bona kgatlhego thata kana ga ba na keletso thata mo temong. Ba ba sa le diriseng ke jaaka re laleditse ba spedu ka gore gantsi ba rotloetsa bogwebi le go tsisa bagwebi mo kgaolong.
Jaaka gore menta sala di ga palo ya ditema tse di longang, batho jaanong ba itsetsebetsela mo go lemeng ditemanyana tse dinyenyane. Konteng ga mo ba bangwe ke ba ileng gore masimo a magologolo ke a bagolo, batho ba neng ba thagagaletse temo thata ke bagolo. Yaanong go santse go lebega go na le kgwetho ya gore ba abele hatsi le ba lenele bana kana ba le hirise. Jaanong re santse re na le lehatsi le lentsi thata le le sa dirisiweng. Le lengwe re iphithela re na le bana ba ileng gore ba na le lone gona ga le lentsi mme ba le ko ditirong.
In an effort to reverse the current trend, the ministry scheduled a mechanization workshop for farmers with a focus on tractor demonstration, which is the recommended method for plowing.
balemi ba ne ba supa dingongora ka boraditerekere ba supa dingongora ka balemi jaanong re ba tsisitse gologolo wane le platform ya gore botlhe ba tle go rutiwa gore ha ba re ga ba lemelwa sentle kana ha ba re ba lemile sentle ba ra go dirilwe jang ka gore gape le mo kgaolong ya rona re lemoga balemi ba tlhoboga diplantere gone ka gore gongwe ga di jwale sentle
tota ke ithutile go le gontsi thata ka diterekere le go engwa balemi nokeng ya gore ba itse gore tota ga ba lema ba lemelang ba dira gore temo ga e sa thola temo ke kgwebo ga e sa thola le jala mo ganong ke sone se ke se itumeletseng le go ruta bora diterekere gore terekere e le majang ke se re se itumeletseng thata ka gore bora diterekere ba rona tota ga nne ba sa itse dilo tse thata.
With the next plowing season just around the corner, stakeholders are urging the government and private sector to act quickly to avoid another disappointing year. Mamusi Siska, BTV News, Sohope.
Broadhurst Regional Magistrate Maranedi Dipate has deferred a case in which Assistant Accountant General Mr. Moses Moreri is charged with corruption to the 28th of August. The case was postponed this morning to allow the Directorate of Public Prosecutions, DPP, to furnish the defense lawyers with relevant court documents, amongst them a list of witness statements, records and minutes of the investigating officer, and summary of evidence. According to court records, Mr. Moreri is accused of influencing the outcome of the appointment of Nexim in respect of procurement of Oracle Supercluster server machines worth 12 million pula. The accused person is alleged to have failed to disclose the nature of his interest, being a friendship with Nexim company director, but rather participated in the process of awarding the tender. Tata Khosimori is standing by with sport.
Thank you, Komunzo Mapani. Welcome to the last segment of Botswana Tonight, sports segment with me, Tato Khosimori, and here is our leading story tonight. Organizers of the annual Makadi Marathon says despite facing difficulties in securing a sponsorship deal, preparations to host the competition are progressing well. Addressing the media, the chairman of the organizing committee, Mr. Kwao Mukokam, said this year's event will be held on the 23rd of August at Natabed Sanctuary. Bethany Mando has more. Moving on, women candidate master Natalie Bandam won the girls under-20 category of the Botswana Junior Chess Championship, while Tutom Penny emerged victorious in the open section. The tournament, which began on Saturday, concluded yesterday at the University of Botswana. Victoria Dakin reports.
18-year-old Natalie Banda delivered a commanding performance, winning 6 of her 7 games and drawing her final match against Kaona Motlago to finish with a total of 6.5 points. Banda walked away with a trophy, a gold medal and 700 pula in prize money. Atlam Mosuyu secured second place with 5.5 points, and a silver medal and 400 pula. Third place went to Lawana Mushoboro.
The tournament in general was very tough. I think from the very first round to the very last one, I was really struggling. But for the past few months, I've been focusing more on playing in South Africa, and I think that's what's giving me an edge over these other ladies because I'm getting to compete with other people outside Botswana. So I think it was working for me and in my favor. So I would say that's the one thing which really made me perform better than them.
My coach for the help, for being patient with me all this time. I've been through a lot through this year, but he has been there for me. We have been doing some practice online training because he's been busy with school. So mostly we were doing online training and playing some games. And also thank God for this gift. I didn't want this one, but I'm coming back stronger.
In the open section, 16-year-old Tuto Mpeni displayed remarkable dominance, winning 6 out of 7 games and drawing his final round against Posaki Pidile. He also finished with 6.5 points, claiming a trophy, a gold medal, and 1,000 pula. Raymond Maratwaning came in second with 6 wins, earning a silver medal and 750 pula. Moses Mananga rounded out the top 3. The tournament was challenging, but I managed to come out on top. My opponents played really well, but in the end, they slipped up with unforced errors. I'm planning to work on my past mistakes and train harder with my coach.
My results, I'm proud. I'm proud because it was only my 3rd tournament, and my preparation seems to have worked. I really played well, and the only game I lost to Tuto, I learned, and I congratulate him and wish him good luck.
The federated tournament also served as a qualifying event for the African Junior Chess Championship set to take place in Cape Verde this September. Victoria Decken, Btv Sport, Gaborone.
And lastly, in football, Cole Palmer scored a brace and assisted Joao Pedro as Chelsea stunned Paris Saint-Germain in the final of the Club World Cup on Sunday, beating the European champions 3-0 to win the first edition of the FIFA Club World Cup new competition. PSG were the favorites for a game attended by the American President Donald Trump after coming to the tournament fresh from winning the UEFA Champions League and having destroyed Real Madrid 4-0 in the semi-finals last week. Chelsea beat Fluminense 2-0 to reach the final. That's all we had for you from Botswana Tonight Sports Desk this evening. Thank you very much for the privilege of your time. Now a recap of our leading stories.
President Advocate Duma Bongo emphasizes the need to tackle poverty and unemployment. Good Hope District Council Chairman Daniel Nkwana calls for review and amendment of farm workers' law.
And in sport, organizers of the annual Makadi Kadi Marathon says despite facing sponsorship challenges, they are on course.
That's how we come to the end of our 9 o'clock bulletin this Monday evening. Tato Khosimure in sport and sign language was Patricia Chobonyane. Up next is the weather update. Good evening.
Good evening and welcome to today's weather forecast. My name is Pro Victoria Khosiem. For tomorrow, we're expecting some sunny skies over Kalahadi. Fair conditions over Ngamile and Hansi southern southeast Gauteng and Gwining, but elsewhere, mostly partly cloudy conditions are expected. In the morning, we'll be expecting possibility of fog over Gaborone. Therefore, the public is advised to take necessary precautions. In the morning, we're expecting some cold temperatures over much of southern southeast Gauteng, Gwining and southern central, ranging between 3 over Johannesburg to around 7 over Gaborone. But elsewhere, we're expecting mostly mild temperatures, ranging between 8 to around 11 degrees Celsius. But in the afternoon, warm temperatures are expected over Ngamiland and Chobe of around 26. But for the rest of the country, mostly mild temperatures are expected, ranging between 22 over Johannesburg and Verde to around 25 over much of Kalahadi as well as Suapan. On Wednesday and Thursday over southern southeast, Gauteng and Gwining, we're expecting fair conditions on Wednesday and partly cloudy conditions on Thursday. Temperatures will be mild between 23 to 25 degrees Celsius. For Gauteng and Kalahadi as well, fair conditions on Wednesday, partly cloudy on Thursday. Mild temperatures as well, between 25 to 26 degrees Celsius. For Chobe and Ngamiland, mostly partly cloudy conditions will be expected with warm temperatures of 26 to 28 degrees Celsius. For Central and Northeast as well, mostly partly cloudy conditions with mild temperatures of 24 to 25 degrees Celsius. That's all I have for you tonight. Have yourself a good night.
Our youth in this country are really facing a difficult situation. The youth are not engaged. The youth are unemployed. We found a partner in Burma because manufacturing is one of the prioritized sectors that have great potential to unlock jobs.